Parents have the responsibility to care and nurture their children. It is their responsibility to ensure that their children have shelter, food, basic needs, etc. Sometimes parents go without just to make sure that their children are well cared for. Children's emotional needs are very, very important. Sometimes we overlook this and always concentrate on physical, or how they are looking, this and that, but their emotional needs are sometimes overlooked. Hello everyone, welcome back to Ifechi Family. Last week, I uploaded a video and discussed 4 types of parenting. If you have not watched that video, I'll link it up here so that you can go and see what was said in that video. It was identified in that video that experts believe that authoritative type of parenting is the best one. There are a few comments about people saying that, showing them love and all the rest of it. Of course, authoritative parenting should also come with love. Any kind of parenting that is really good should come with love and care for those children. They are gifts from God and must be cared for and loved. I want to use these 2 Bible verses. They are familiar ones. First one is in Ephesians 6 verse 4, and it says, nurture them in the discipline and instruction of the Lord. So as well as being authoritative, you also have to nurture them in the instruction and discipline of the Lord. And the other one is in Proverbs 22 verse 6, a familiar one as well. Train a child up in the way they will go, and when they grow up, they will not depart from it. Something like that. We all are familiar with those Bible verses. When experts say that, it's authoritative, as I say, we have to tweak things around and look at what works for us. No child, even within a family, even if you have 4 children, 4 of them are not the same. If you have 2 of them are not the same. So you have to find what works for one and the other. So that's why parents have to also be on alert and study their children, because what works for one child may not work for the other. So authoritative parenting, that's what is suggested, yes, but it may not work in one child, or it may work in another child. So find a balance. Authoritative is what we should all be leaning towards, but however, we have to look at it and make sure it's working for us. Find out what works in your family. Some children are challenged. That means that the way you raise up a child that is not physically or mentally challenged is not the same way that you raise that child. Some of them are hyperactive, so you have to find a way to engage them, how to find a way to raise that particular child up. The child's brothers or sisters may be so different, and that particular child will be different because of the challenges they have. So it's not one size fits all. So in as much as experts suggest authoritative parenting, it does not mean that you have to rigidly follow that kind of parenting. There are negatives and positives of authoritative parenting, and some of the negatives are that children can become aggressive, actually, because of the way authoritative nature in which they were raised. They can become aggressive. They can be disruptive as well. Sometimes with authority, they don't want to hear from any other person because that's how they are taught at home, is that this is what the parents are saying, and they want to only believe the parents and respect the parents. They may have poor self-esteem. They may have poor judgment, or their characters may be a bit questionable because they are always structured in the way they do things. Rules must be followed. If that rule is not followed, my parents will be mad. So that kind of authoritative type of parenting might not be good. That's a downside to it. Sometimes it means that they are very, very strict. They are always talking about, oh, this is the rule here, this is the rule in this house, this is the rule here. So when they go out there, it might be hard for them to mix up. So in as much as authoritative parenting is recommended, we have to do what works for us. It's just a guide. It doesn't mean that you have to follow it rigidly. Some of the positives of authoritative parenting is that children raised in authoritative environment are likely to become more independent as they grow up. They can be self-reliant, reliant socially, academically sound, most of them, because of the way they were brought up. They may have most of the things that they need while growing up. They may just not struggle so much. It doesn't always follow that you're authoritative doesn't mean that you're very rich. So it doesn't mean that at all. They are less likely to have anxiety or depression or stress. These are what experts say. Again, it does not mean that the other kind of children will have those problems. But authoritative parenting, these are some of the positives. They're more likely to behave better and not involved in antisocial behaviors such as smoking, drinking, drug, etc. Again, it's only a guide. You may have an authoritative, you may have been raised in an authoritative environment, and that may even push the children to even go and explore and do things like that. So it doesn't, it just take, it's not one size fits all. These are just suggestions, but you can just see how it works out for you. The important thing is that you're raising up your children the right way. However way you want to do it, provided both of you are saying the same thing as I said before. So whether authoritative or not, or you want to be in between. Because to me, I think being in between is better. You don't want to be too authoritative that the children are afraid of you. They cannot come to you with their needs. They cannot come to you to share things with you. They're running away from you. That kind of authoritative parenting is not good, because you need to hear your children out. You need to know, especially when they are emotionally low. It's very important for you to watch out for these things. And while I'm on the topic of authoritative parenting, let me also talk more about teachers. In one of my videos, I mentioned that the things we have to teach our children are to respect. One of the things is to respect their teachers. A lot of quite a few comments came up there, and I want to reiterate that fact, because it's happening a lot, especially here in diaspora, where children don't care. They don't want to go to school, some of the children anyway, because here in the UK, you don't pay any school fees from nursery till they finish their A-levels. It's only when they start university that they start getting student loans, or if the parents are able to pay for them and stuff like that. But up to that age, they don't pay any school fees. So sometimes children come there and they think that they're not supposed to be here. I don't even know why I'm here. I don't want to be here. My parents made me to come. So parents, please teach your children that as soon as they leave the home, teachers becomes their parents. They have to listen to them. They should not be disruptive, because they disrupt other children. Some children can study. Even if there's disruptions, they can still get the hang of what the teachers are saying. But some children need maximum concentration to be able to achieve. So please teach your children to, when they go to school, to know that they are there for their own good, and to respect the teachers and listen to what the teachers are saying to them. And when they come back with any report about teacher doing this, teacher doing that, don't just jump and go and start telling the teachers off. Find out exactly what happened. You may be surprised that why the teacher told them off, or did whatever they said that the teacher did to them, was because that they were not listening. They were disrupting the class. Here in UK, one teacher handles about 31 students in a normal school. I think in grammar school, remember? Yeah, in grammar school, I think there may be less children, but most of the time it's about 30 odd children in a class with one teacher. So you can imagine what it's like for you in the house when you have maybe 2 children, 3, 4 children, managing them. Never mind when a teacher have to handle 31 of them in a class. So parents, please, the teachers are doing a lot for our children. So support them in any way you can. They have a lot of them in class, and they're all coming from different backgrounds. Some of them are from unruly homes, some of them from very good homes, and they are all mixed in one class for one teacher and maybe one teaching assistant to support them. It's not easy for them, so the minimum you can do is to tell your children to, when they get to school, to behave themselves and respect their teachers and the head teacher, because they are the one that have authority over them at that time that they are in school.